So whether you want to manifest or receive your desires and keep your desires falls under one umbrella. If your nervous system is chronically dysregulated, you will fall back into the same loop. You get your manifestation, but you cannot keep your manifestation, or you're unable to actually have anything. So I'm going to walk you through what I had to do for myself. And when I tell you, it took me nearly 15 years to be able to dissect what was my issue, come up with a plan, stick to it, and really start seeing my life unfold in the best way possible. I need you to take a pen or paper. I need you to sit down and watch till the end what I'm about to tell you, because this might be where you change your life forever. Unfortunately, many of us suffered from some sort of traumatic experience or very heavy stress in our lives at some point of our life. Oftentimes, we carry on the traumas and the stress of even the previous generations. Unfortunately, it happens, and because we are all connected through the umbilical cord, the energies are passed down, because energies cannot be destroyed. They go from one place to another. And sometimes this energy falls upon you. Maybe not your older sister, younger sister, or older brother, younger brother, but it falls upon you. It's just what happens, because we are all energy beings. We take on energy, we give out energy. We are electrical beings. Even the brain is wired through electrical circuits and chemicals and stuff like that. So imagine that in all over the world and the existence of the world of humanity as well. This transfer of energy keeps happening. Some get it, some don't get it. If there's a dark energy force, sometimes, some people pick it up. If there's good energy force, people pick it up, and so on and so on. Now, what happens is that you, as the operant power, and I like to say the God of your reality, can, in one way or another, stop this transfer of energy and can transmute that energy. But you have to be aware in order to transmute that energy. So here I am carrying energies that I didn't even know were placed in my vessel, right? I kept reenacting these energies. They were happening in a self-sabotage sort of way until I became conscious and aware of what was happening, because I said something is stagnant there. There's something that is not in alignment, and I need to figure it out. I figured out that my nervous system was heavily stressed, heavily traumatized. I wasn't breathing properly. I could actually do something to help myself, to find a bit of a balance, and then, the pattern will start all over again. And I said, I can't play this game of catch and release with myself. I need to find a way to really stabilize myself. So I started really looking into the world of spirituality. I looked into science. I searched for esoteric meanings of certain things, and so on and so on, until I found out there is a combination of things. It's the regulation of my nervous system, but through many practices. And this is what I want to talk to you about. The first thing it was for me to decide. I decided that I need an answer. I need to regulate myself. I need to maintain my desires when they come to me. The good people that I have come into my life, they're not staying. Why they're not staying? It's not them. It has to be me. I was asking myself all these questions. So at this point, I said, enough is enough. I'm not going to spend the rest of my life in this loop, this negative loop. So the first thing you need to do is to decide. I'm going to go through my notes here so that I do not forget. Decide is the first step. I'm going to explain to you the science of, behind the whole idea of the nervous system and manifestation. We are beings that manifest. How do we acquire everything that we need for our survival on this planet? It is through manifestation. You can call it work if you will, but It is through manifestation. We've manifested and created everything that we have around us to survive in this world. What is the role of the nervous system? The nervous system regulates our body's response to external and internal stimuli. When the nervous system is properly balanced, okay, it allows for us to attain a state of calmness, clarity, and often referred to as the flow state. I'm sure many of you, even if it's for a nanosecond, has felt what it's like to be in the flow state, where everything seems calm, you're clear about what you want, nothing can bother you within that moment. And that flow state is what we're trying to achieve at all times, because at the end of the day, this is our true and pure essence. We are limitless. We are limitless beings created in the image of God. Being a chaotic state is not our true nature. Being in the flow state is our true nature, or as what they call it, the God state. That is our true nature, correct? So, and that flow state is what is the ideal for manifestation, okay? Now, when the body is chronically dysregulated, the nervous system, that is, okay, some trauma, some stress, negative experiences, and so on, it keeps the body in a flight or fight or even freeze mode, impairing creativity, intuition, and focus, which are all vital for manifesting our desires. How can we ever achieve success if we are not in the flow state? If you ever watch any interviews of people that are highly talented or highly successful, they often talk to you about an almost like a godly state. They cannot explain to you what comes from. It's as if it's downloaded from above and they're just in the flow. And this is how they create what they create. Michael Jackson being one of them. Not too long ago, I watched an interview that Maria Callas made, the opera singer. When they asked her, she clearly stated that it is a connection to God. That is how she's able to sing. It is not given to only a certain group of people. It is given to all of us. The flow state is there for all of us. But unfortunately, a lot of people who have been traumatized and not processed their trauma properly, because don't get me wrong, a lot of successful people will talk about their traumas, but what you will see is that they're able to process, or they have been able to process their traumas, use it towards, their creativity, and make something beautiful. Some people, they don't know how to use that anger, that emotion, because we create with emotions, whether it's anger, whether it's fear, whatever. We can create with these emotions. We are energy beings, but unfortunately, it is not channeled properly. So you'll see people literally go downward, go into this downward spiral and not able to create anything. And whereas you will find some people that actually know exactly where to transmute that kind of energy, and then they're able to create amazing things. The nervous system dysregulation clearly blocks manifestation, downloads, ideas, creative ideas, thoughts, imagination. It's what I've realized that happened to myself, because as a Pisces, you don't have to believe in that. The water sign, we are very creative because we are very intuitive. If you're a water sign, you probably can agree with me on that. I know myself to the point that I know that I'm a creative person. But what happens is that I knew there was something blocking me every time, energetically. It's stuck somewhere, right? I can go and meditate and come up with a brilliant idea, and then what happens is that I will execute on the idea and start making money, but something happens and it stops, and I'm like, wait, it needs to continue to flow. It cannot stop somewhere. Like something is going on, and I can start off a good relationship and then somewhere it stops. There's something's wrong with that. And of course, I have to look at myself in the mirror, because we are reflections. The reality that we experience is a reflection of our inner world. And those things, by the way, like I've said, are an accumulation of work and research and studies and readings that took me nearly 15 years to get to this. I was very young when I had my first awakening. It was through discovering Eckhart Tolle, A New Earth. I read this book and I decided to go on a series of other things and just open my eyes. And And I felt for the first time in my life that I was in a flow state, but of course I lost it. Again, this is what I'm talking about. Because my nervous system was very dysregulated, and I never was able to transmit these energies towards the what was truly necessary for me to live at my highest potential. Could be the case for you too. So when you are in a flight or fight mode, it triggers survival instincts, because you're constantly thinking that you're protecting yourself because you feel very unsafe. And that, if you look at in the yogic traditions, the Indian traditions will probably tell you that your root chakra is blocked, because the root chakra is the safety, security chakra. You don't feel grounded. If you want to go, sociologically speaking, you can look at the Maslow hierarchy of needs, and you see at the base, human beings, we need security, we need food, we need shelter, and stuff like that. And it's even in red, I think they put it too, because the safety is important for us. When you don't feel safe, you're unable to move up the ladder, really, because the basic of who we are is dysregulated. So that's why we're in a fight or flight mode. We're fighting literally ourselves. Okay, so it leads to fear and anxiety, in scarcity thinking. If you are overwhelmed by financial stress, obviously you cannot focus on anything else but the loss. And this is what I mean by, when you understand and you're aware, instead of focusing on loss, you should be focusing on how to get out of, that scarcity. But unfortunately, a lot of people, they don't know how to direct their energy towards the right direction. They go and keep at the lower state, the lower vibration. You have to know these things. And again, like I said, it took me years to arrive to this conclusion. And then you have the most amazing of them all, the freeze mode. When you're unable to do anything, you're stuck. You wake up and you say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to conquer the world. And then guess what? You're stuck. The nervous system is what's keeping you in your safe cocoon, because it's not used to you being pushed out there, and your limits are not pushed. So the nervous system is going to keep you stuck. You're going to sabotage yourself by doing the contrary to what you really want to do, because there's somewhere your belief system has already been programmed in such a way to protect you. Well, it thinks it's protection, but obviously it's not protection. It is delaying you. And you're not able to live at your highest potential, because your nervous system is like, it completely froze you. You become immobile because of that. That's how the nervous system is wired, really. And by the way, I decided to do a certificate on neuroscience. So I'm looking into neuroscience. I'm looking at the brain and the functions of the brain and how it relates to the nervous system as well. And I'm even looking into Chinese medicine, and why they look at the meridians, those electrical, let's call them electrical circuits within the body, through the organs, the main organs, and how, all of that, regulates our emotions, the energy flow within our bodies and stuff like that. So I'm studying that. It's a whole new world for me, and I love it. And I feel like this is going to serve me greatly. And my intention is to help people. My intention is to help others heal. And it doesn't have to take you 15 years like it did for me. You could do it literally in 2 weeks. And I'm putting a 2-week program together to be able to help people get out of this freeze mode, or this flight or fight mode, to get into your flow state, your creator mode, because that's what we really are. And we will not only create, we will execute on our creations and our ideas. They will come to us. Everything is going to unfold perfectly, and it's going to keep flowing, no stopping. So in this mode, the freeze mode, I know it all too well, because I've had this happen to me so many times. When I wanted to do something, I was just stuck. And then the hypervigilance mode. This one is quite interesting. You think everything is coming to fight you. Everybody wants a piece of you. You don't trust in nobody. The hypervigilance, you know who you are. Those type of people, they don't trust anything at all, because the nervous system is hacked. The nervous system is hacked by the brain, because the brain has been programmed to believe that I gotta protect, so and so, and I'm going to keep doing that. So through these different modes: the flight or fight mode, the freeze mode, or the hypervigilance mode. So you overthinking everything, you blocking your intuitive flow, not even realizing it, because everything is chaotic in your mind. Everything is chaotic. You don't know who to trust. You don't know who to talk to. This is how you self-sabotage. I know these modes all too well because I've dabbled in every one of them. So I know, until I decided to put a stop to it, it was like reoccurring. And then what happens is that even your dreams would reflect those beliefs. You will have reoccurring dreams because you've had an experience at school where, a kid pushed you, and then, those dreams will come. And then you think that, everybody's a bully, they're bullying you. You relive those experiences without even being aware of them. You gotta grab hold of your reality. And by grabbing hold of your reality, guys, I mean that, it is giving yourself this chance to look at yourself and say, I need to experience a different reality, and I will experience a different reality. The decision has to be made. We have this thing in Creole saying that when you're making a decision, they say, frappe pied, meaning that stump your foot hard and decide on something. And I love that about, Haitians when they say that, and they're like, frappe pied, like, you decide on that, right? And then when we affirm, we like to beat our chest because we feel that electricity going through our body. And that's another thing that we'll get to talk about. It's one of the practices that I had to use in order for me to start getting into my flow state. All right, so how do we regulate the nervous system? This is the next thing that I want to talk about. So if we look at the scientific evidence of that, we have many practices that we could do. The scientist, who's like a lecturer that I love to listen to, there are a couple of them, but I'll name two actually. One is Greg Braden. Greg Braden talks about the heart and brain coherence, for instance, right? We can say that's one way to look at them. And in the program that I have, by the way, guys, we can work together and decide which one works best for you, and I will accompany you in what works for you. I've used all of them. I had to do all of them because I didn't know. Like I said, it took me 15 years. I was going through different things to find that, peace, in my nervous system. I wasn't waking up with anxiety anymore. I wasn't waking up and thinking a million thoughts, and I wasn't scared anymore. It's like, as you're getting older, as a woman, you're scared, you're anxious, you have to do this, you have to do that. And then you find yourself in the wrong relationships, in the wrong situations, because you are choosing with fear rather than love, rather than calmness, rather than peace, right? It's the nervous system that's hacked, and it's making you take wrong turns. The GPS is hacked. The computer is hacked. It has a virus, and it's just doing all kinds of things that you cannot control. But guess what? You are the power that can control it. But you just need to know and be conscious of this and be aware of it. So that was one thing that Greg Braden, and then you have Joe Dispenza. Joe Dispenza is fantastic right now in talking about neuroscience. In his book, Becoming Supernatural, he talks about all these things, right? When we change the personality, our personality, our attitude, our ways of thinking, our reality changes. Regulating your breath. Breath work is important. Even in yoga, they talk about it. What they teach you in yoga is to know how to breathe. It's not about the exercises that you do, how long you can hold a pose. It's about aligning yourself within, and it's through breathing, because it's the first thing that we did when we came out of our mother's womb was breathe. If we don't breathe, we're not alive. If we don't breathe properly, guess what? The whole of the body system is messed up, is chaotic, is out of alignment. Okay, so breathing is important. There are many techniques that exist, different types of breathing practices that you could do. And deep breathing through your diaphragm is what you'll hear a lot, and it's true. It needs to come from that sacral chakra, and your whole body, your mind, everything changes. Once I learned that, listen, what a relief. Anyways, so you have obviously I just talked about yoga, which is a form of somatic practice, shaking the body, You know, you have Tai Chi, and then you have also me. I don't do cold therapy because I'm not for the cold. I'm sorry, I'm a Caribbean girl. I love the heat. I do the sauna. In the sauna, I find relaxation. It helps me. I know that when you do cold therapy, shocks the body and it sort of wakes you up. I get it. If that works for you, then that works for you. Like I said, we can go through a list of things that could work for you, and then we can start putting them into practice. The sauna has been, for me, an amazing thing that, you know, has put me in a really calm state, and I love it. I will never give up the sauna. Neuroplasticity work, again, Joe Dispenza talks about that a lot. It's the rewiring of your brain through positive affirmations. Many of you out there, I'm sure you know of this, okay? And now that was the science part of it. Because I'm a Caribbean girl, because I'm Haitian, I don't approach anything without looking through, without a spiritual eye. And before I go into that, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the esoteric concept of, you know, how you can regulate your nervous system. My intention was to put makeup on, by the way, put my lighting on to do this video, but I started talking and it just kept going. I said, you know what, it was supposed to be a test, this video, but it's going to be the video that I published, that I put on YouTube. Excuse the non-makeup face. But anyway, so esoterically, you know, we have energy healing. Energy healing is a big thing for me, and we talk about this in spirituality as well, and I'll get to that, guys. Your energy, like I said, is important because we are nothing but a ball of energy, a field of energy. And I've made a video about this. Our words, our thoughts, our emotions, all of them have energy. You manifest by, you know, energetically placing yourself in what you want. I've made a video using science about the slingshot method. It's all an energy thing. Physics, you were able to launch a spacecraft, through energy. It's movement of energy. Reiki practice, you know, is one way to heal your energy. Chakra alignment, doing meditations and stuff like that. I'm just gonna go through them very quickly. But you, like I said, reach out to me. Let's discuss what will work best for you. Visualization for nervous system harmony is another way. Crystal therapy, I don't do crystal therapy, although that I've used it in my bath. I'm not gonna lie to you, but that's another way that you can, you know, do I'm talking about esoteric practice for nervous system healing. Okay, and now let's get into the spiritual thing, because I'm trying to make this video not too long and I want to go through all my points here. Okay, spiritually, of course, you know, meditation and mindfulness is one practice that you can put in your everyday life. Okay, ancestral healing, I think I briefly talked about that. And ancestral healing is important because, again, if you're looking at, you know, whatever they call generational curses, I made a video and I mentioned neuro knowledge. We talked about blocked energy. It is blocked energy because, again, energy doesn't die. It transfers from point A to point B. Okay? So ancestral healing we can discuss about rituals if that works for you, where you can honor your ancestors, practice forgiveness and stuff like that, and then to release inherited trauma that you probably not aware of. Okay, spiritual cleansing, you know, if you've watched my channel, I talk about baths a lot. And in coffee, the head coffee ritual, washing your head with coffee, is one that would energetically release, you know, some sort of like emotions and fears and stuff like that within your body. Okay, and do not take those things lightly. They're not woo-woo, guys. Those are things that I have done myself to help balance myself within my energy, my body, the way that I responded to the world around me and people. Okay, and of course, you know, if you are somebody who believes in your Bible, you work on your faith. I always say that faith is the only movement that you need in manifestation. Your faith needs to move from down here to up there. This is all you have to worry about. You don't have to worry about what's happening outside, you know. You worry about your faith. Is your faith greater? All you need to do is build your faith to get your manifestation and trust. Okay, And so obviously you align with what your spiritual practice is one way spiritually to help heal the nervous system. So this is how you heal the past, the present as well, so that you can manifest for the future. Manifestation happens in the present moment, but for the brain, it happens in the future, but it's not the future because there's only the now moment. Okay, your manifestation always happens in the now moment. So obviously we talked about trauma processing, and also tapping, I think, in energy healing, when I mentioned affirming with beating your chest and stuff like that. Again, we'll get to talk about all of that. Journaling is another way, gratitude practice, grounding rituals and stuff like that. The only thing that I can tell you is that until I understood that it was my nervous system who was keeping me from receiving my manifestations, I was struggling. And I know a lot of us have had, trauma, stress in our lives, and nobody taught us how to regulate those emotions. If they don't teach you how to process your emotions, you stuck them. They're stuck in your body, your energy field. They stuck in your thoughts. They loop over and over. You reenact them with people, with loved ones, in situations, work situation, business, and all of that. Some people, they can rule the world on the energy of anger without being destructive, by the way. But some people, they have the energy of anger, or that emotion, that frequency, they destroy the world because they don't know how to transmute it. They don't know how to use it for their benefit or the benefit of those around them. So if you don't know how to do that, you will be destructive to yourself and to the world around you. Very grateful that I can put myself in the situation where I can help people, because I've always wanted to help people. That's why if you look at my history, I've moved to Haiti to go and help. I was helping in through education and so on. So it's my nature. I love to help, and if I'm here doing this, it's because I want to help, truly. And I wish that I had somebody like myself that was there to tell me that no, your nervous system needs healing. You need to breathe properly. You need to regulate your emotions properly. You need to learn how to feel your energy, because we manifest, we create with our energy. Thought is an energy. Creativity is an energy. All of those things, God, I had to learn them the hard way. But you know what? It's been all worth it, because the person that I am today, I would not trade it for anybody else. She's gone through war. She came out victorious, and you can too. You can too. We're here to support each other. This community here, I love it because it's a very supportive community. We learn from each other, and what we learn from the other, we can apply it into our own lives, into our business, into what we're trying to do. It's not about criticizing other people to say you are this, you are that. If you apply the law of one, by the way, this is the law of Jesus. It's a law of God. Okay? You love God. You love your neighbors as you love yourself. Guess what? There's nothing that you cannot achieve. It's time to stop being judgmental. Those practices through different various cultures and everything have been there just only there because people were just trying to find who they are, connect to God. So there's nothing wrong with that, as long as there's love and light and you love yourself and you know that you're doing it for the highest potential of who you are, because you want to reach your highest potential, and because you know that it pleases God, then you're going to do it. So I have a whole thing laid out here of how I plan to work with you if you do. By the time you call me or you decide to do a video call with me, we're going to go through identifying the blocks, what's keeping you, what are the limiting beliefs, to help you and see how they relate to how they block your nervous system, okay, and the role that the nervous system has played in those blocks and stuff like that. And of course, introduce you to the nervous system regulation techniques. Like I told you, we can go through all of them, the scientific ones, the esoteric one, the spiritual ones, whatever works for you. And then we will work on healing and past trauma, releasing limiting beliefs, and releasing your limiting beliefs. We'll get to talk about that. I'll give you rituals and practices that you could do, and we'll find what works best for you. And then we'll practice aligning with flow and detachment through these rituals that goes with your schedule, go with your schedule. And of course, and I'm here to offer you ongoing support. This is the idea. This is what I want to do. Okay, this worked for me. And I know that it can work for you, because we're all the same at the end of the day, especially if we know that we've been trauma, we've been through stress. Okay, I've been through a lot of stress, not even knowing that. My poor self, the child within us, it's just been through so much stress, and we forget. Don't forget also, the body keeps the score. I forgot the name of the author. I can put it down here if I remember. But this is the idea, guys. Regulating the nervous system will get us everything. Will give us the success that we're looking for, the job that we're looking for, the relationship that we're looking for, that manifestation that we're looking for. You can affirm, right, and stay within that mindset. Yes, you will get your manifestation. You will become, that power. But what happens is that you can fall right back down if you don't know, if you are not regulated. And that's what happens to a lot of us. We're not doing anything wrong. It's just like we're not aware of it, unfortunately. Until it's brought to your attention, then how are you going to know, right? So I didn't know that all the work that I was doing needed to happen through the nervous system, because it's literally our protective shield. It's what I call the spirit within me. Once I started feeling that within me, this energy flow within me, the electricity within me, and I was able to use it when I need to calm it down, and and stuff like that. It's just, that's what I call energy manipulation as well. It starts within, and then the energies around you are you're able to manipulate them as well. This goes deeper inside of spirituality, but this is what I wanted to share with you today. I hope this is well received, and I'm intending that it is well received, and that you find yourself in this, that it resonates with you deeply, and then you come to me and let me know how we can work together. If one way doesn't work, then we'll find another way, because the possibilities are out there. And I'm here. I'm going to keep making videos. I'm going to talk about all these things that I love to talk about, and I'm waiting for you. Let's continue to prosper. God bless you.